So I saw a comment yesterday in the game, and I know a lot of y'all are fed up with this whole thing, but the comment was something that read like this. This was in the world chat, and they said they were all talking about the ability score. You know how I talked about before, you know how people inflate their ability score? Well, there was someone who commented in the world chat, and they said everyone wants a high ability score so they can skip the grind. And I saw that, and I was like, yeah, that's very true. That is so true, but in a negative way. And they were saying it kind of like flaunting it, right? Everyone wants a high ability score so they can skip the grind in like in a positive manner for them, right? But this is the exact reason why this is an issue, and why I'm about to tell you here that the whole ability score thing and how people are just asking for these crazy ability score things should not deter you. And I'm going to explain to you why, just in detail, so we really understand it and what's going on, how they're getting these ability scores, and really how it plays out into the content that's in the game. So let's dive into that. Hey, but first, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all have a lovely day, by the way. So naturally, we have kind of a gatekeeping issue that has occurred. You've seen it in the world chat. I don't have world chat shown right now, so I don't need to go back in and edit stuff out. You know, if you get scam bots or something going on. But you know, we've seen this in the world chat. You've seen it, people asking crazy ability scores, 20k, so, and this can be deterring. Let me explain to y'all not to be deterred by this, because the people asking this are really just compensating because they kind of had to do the same thing, whereas, you know, they chose to take the shortcut to get these high ability scores to not have to go through the grind. However, by doing this, it does not necessarily mean that your gear is necessarily great. Does not necessarily mean that you know the mechanics of your play, of your class. These things are not synonymous with your ability score. They are not. Now, I'm sure they can be, of course, but they're not just inherently synonymous. The reason behind this is that a large part of your ability score, now people get these really high ability scores, is having things such as your SSR imagines, right? SSR is the top ones, right? I think it's SS and then SSR. Whatever the very top ones are, those really increase your ability score. Now, don't get me wrong, those do boost your stats tremendously to a good point, to a high level, but they give a whole lot of ability score as well. And then, of course, the more obvious one, which I talked about before, was the whole emblem thing. You know, the whole emblem thing is really something that boosts your score up just crazily, a crazy amount, by going to the whole emblem thing and doing your emblem growth. What is that? Going over here and doing your emblem growth. This really inflates your ability score, but the thing about these is that these do nothing for most of the content in the game. For all like the raids and stuff that you're doing, these are not void monsters. None of these buffs apply to these mobs. So your ability score is being so heavily inflated, but it does not reflect what your gear is like, and so and so and so. A lot of times also, people want to have gear that's, you know, just up to date. It's like level 60 gear, but it's not the proper stats for the classes. But they're doing it just to get that ability score up there. So per se, you know, for instance, you know, I put in the grind. I put in the work. This is kind of what we're looking at here for me. So I kind of pop my screen away for a second, my face camera. But this is kind of what we're looking at for me. So this is, I grind. I just straight up purely grind, y'all. Like this, I love the grind, and the game really allows me to grind. But this is me. So this is kind of understanding what, you know, good gear would be like, right? So you kind of see my gear here, but I make sure I go through and I get the stats. And I put these sapphires on there to get these stats. You know, I go in there, we grind for the proper stats. Now we're still in work here because you see I have the 60 here and whatnot. But of course, you know, I got these stats right here. This is not a drop though. It doesn't have the purple stat. But so sometimes I opt not to change over, right? Because I kind of look at it. And then of course we need the enhancement things, the reforgery stones for that stuff as well, which I don't really have in right now for this one. But you see my gear right here. You see I directly aim for these legendary ones with the purple stats. I grind for these purple stats. So that way I have them. And you're also grinding for the proper stats on them. So as you see here, I haven't gotten too lucky with these hands yet, as you can see there. So we're kind of using this one right now, but I haven't gotten super duper lucky with those. But just kind of rolling through my gear. So you can see here, I'm a One Knight, so I do like haste. For those who are aware, you know, So this is kind of what you're seeing right here, what I have. And, I do have these sapphire stones on these as well. So that does help tremendously as well. So this is kind of what you're working with here. This is someone who plays the game and who is going and grinding these monsters and trying to get these best possible stats that you can. We got this. I think I got one yesterday that has the proper stats on there. Yeah, we got this one. So I'll be upgrading this one once I have some more reforgery stones. So I need to run some mastery domains to get some forgery stones. But as you can see here, I just do the grind, and you see all these ones I have. So this tells you right here, oh dude, this guy is a grinder. This guy plays the freaking game. This guy goes hammy hams. Because you see all the stuff that I have here. And you're just like, oh, what the frick? This guy is a grinder. Yes, I am a grinder. I enjoy grinding. And this game allows me to grind. So understand that when you're doing this stuff, just because your ability score is high does not necessarily mean that directly is going to translate to your performance and your damage. Also, another way to boost your ability score is going to your skills and, of course, leveling up your skills, including skills that you don't freaking need. So if I were to go into here and just level up skills I don't even freaking need, that's going to add to my ability score. Of course, naturally, you want to level up the skills that you do use. Naturally, you want to level those up. And of course, these could actually be higher on my end because I don't usually trade in my booklets, even though I could. I have a lot of booklets, so I could trade them in. Those could be a bit higher. But nonetheless, I haven't done that yet because I'm kind of, okay, well, if I want to hop over to a different class, I haven't decided what other class I want to hop over to yet. So it's like if I want to commit fully to, all those books being gone. You feel me? So that's why I haven't yet. But but either way, they're leveled to a good degree. But either way, these ways to enhance your ability score are not reflective of what you're actually outputting at all times. It's not always reflective of that. It's like I said, it's not synonymous. But understand this. This does not mean that you should try to skimp on your delivery. This does not mean that you are entitled, because I did see people in chat, I do see people in chat sometimes feeling entitled as if, oh, well, you should invite me to the group to run this group so I can clear this. Because like I said before, as we open this, what I read in chat, we read, everyone wants a high ability score so they can skip the grind. A lot of ways to skip the grind is by having a high ability score so we can go into these dungeons just real easily and kind of get like these first rewards, so. Or you completely negate having to live up to the evaluation that they put. Because, every domain, every raid has an evaluation score, right? And because that's the evaluation score, if you're under it, you can't like matchmake, right? You have to join a party to run it. So you have to get invited to a party. So people try to do that to undermine it. No, you should still be meeting the evaluation score to be running this stuff. Plain and simple. You should. I'm not trying to give y'all a cop out. You should still be meeting the evaluation score to run this stuff, but you should be trying to actually build your stuff in a natural way. Per se, like the raids over here. The raids are all under my gear score limit. They're all, I can enter all the raids. I'm not 20k. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 20k. I can enter all of them. And as you see, my gear is perfectly fine. My gear is perfectly fine. Of course, there's room to improve. If you're wondering about my imagines, by the way, my imagines are this guy's been advanced a few times. So we have this guy advanced over here, which gives me a win bonus. And I still use this guy right now for the expertise. I would like to get preferably the fish guy for the haste, or maybe the master guy, or just whatever. But nonetheless, I put in the time. As you see, I have multiple copies of the Wind Dude. So it's like I put in the time, I put in the work, I put in the grind. Not sure if y'all can see that properly. I mean y'all can see the bottom of it, so it doesn't really matter. But we put in that work, we put in that grind, though. I enjoy to do so, and the ability score thing. Don't let that undermine the effort that you put in, the grind you put in, because those crazy gear scores that you see, or that people are asking for, rather, those 20k, whatever, it's not realistic to what's actually benefiting you in those dungeons and those raids, whatever. Like I said before, a lot of that comes from the emblem stuff. And these mobs that you're running in that stuff are not void mobs. That does not affect or benefit you in any way, shape, or form in those. But of course, like I said, you know, people of course get those buffs on the ability score from having those super high tier SSR or SS, whatever they're called, battle imagines, which are very strong, to be fair. But it's not an all L a tell all tell. It's not a tell all tell, right? At any rate, I figured I would let y'all know this to kind of bring y'all down to a level field, and maybe some of y'all are panicking about it, like, oh no, how did I get so high? I can't get this. No, you don't need to be that high. You just need to put in that effort, get your gear right. You'll find your way. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. But nonetheless, y'all, if you have any questions or whatnot, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And you know, I always try to respond to y'all. I enjoy communicating with the community. I think it's very important to do. So be sure to leave a comment. Be sure to like, subscribe. It helps out tremendously, y'all. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all in the next video. Much love. Happy hunting. Good luck. Holla.
Spike content.